Hello, wise owls. It is March 31st, 22, and we're entering a new astrological year. The moon is entering a new cycle in Aries, and I felt like I needed to give you the weather report. Now tell me why. Seasons change, roses die. Your weather report. Your astrological weather report. Chiron, we're going to have to be worried about Chiron again this new year. We're just going to be, it's all Chiron, ups and downs. China, astrological year of the tiger. We're entering this, obviously, the songs of Pluto. There are several Plutos. Although Pluto is not a planet, there are several of these non-planets that are affecting the archons. They inhabit the fourth dimension. We've started to enter the fifth dimension of time. This is a process that began 2 years ago that now we're seeing to its completion. So we're now in pure fifth dimensional consciousness. Pluto through the generations doesn't follow the common names of the great Pluto, but it is affecting the energy field, and we can see whose frequency is impacted by this. Certain signs. Basically, if you're not Sagittarius, you're going to be miserable for 365 days. The fourth planet only makes direct contact with Venus and its moons every 23,000 years. So the presence of Mars and the twin reemergence of Mercury will create this incredible renaissance. The neocons, the global elites, the New World Order, the archons, they are trying to manipulate this, to play on our fears. But we've all taken our ivermectin. We know that the sun revolves around the earth. We base all of our thoughts on people that didn't understand the world is round. Anyway, I should read you the Sabian symbols. The fourth planet only stations direct so rarely that these are very unique symbols. The Sabian symbol of Mars is a ghost eating a blade of grass. Pretty self-explanatory. And we're at the Eris point of 5 ferrets gathered near a milk carton, which clearly indicates it's a time for woodshedding, it's a time for self-improvement. Jupiter is at Bob Balaban making a facial expression that's exasperated in response to a Jennifer Coolidge character. This is great news for grasshoppers, people named Dorothy, and again, the Sagittarius. Everyone else will be in horrible misery. So what I suggest you do, in addition to watching more astrology videos on YouTube, is watch self-help videos on YouTube. Now, I've watched dozens of these. I haven't followed a single suggestion from them, but they're being fed by my algorithm. They're all like, here's 5 ways that you can fuck anybody. Here's 10 things that every charming person does. But then what it links you to is, here's, I don't know, Scarlett Johansson on the Jimmy Fallon show telling a boring anecdote and then agreeing with Jimmy Fallon. And then it's like, see, she was charming there. Be charming like Scarlett Johansson. Okay. It's like tip 2. Here's Scarlett Johansson on the James Corden show. Here, she's saying something that's not that funny of an anecdote, but it's being over-laughed at because of the fake, bullshit, obsolete nature of talk shows. But within that context, you can clearly see how to have an honest interaction with another human, because it's not as if celebrities and absurdly attractive people have a different expectation experience on a pre-planned 5-minute talk show segment than interacting with people in real life is. Because, as you'll see, if you keep watching these videos, they'll show you Tom Hardy doing the exact opposite of the things that they're telling you were charming. And they're like, no, this is charming too. Because he's committing to it being a jerk. Or so it's like, yeah, be really nice and agree with what they're saying, or be a jerk and don't agree with what they're saying. Basically, well, just keep watching the videos. Just keep watching the self-help videos. They contradict each other. None of them apply to real life. But, just be Scarlett Johansson. That's the solution to your problems. And be on talk shows. That's the main thing I think that will be self-improvement is talk shows. So, I'm going to start a vigorous letter writing campaign to get on Jimmy Fallon. And hopefully I'll give like a Brene Brown like TED Talk about my experiences. But, unfortunately, Jimmy Fallon famously has never invited me on The Tonight Show. Despite years of... I'm not going to get into me and Jimmy's campaigning troubles. So, I'm unable to talk and have a host set up anecdotes about airport food, which is really the most authentic form of communication, I think, is when you have a talk show host in a suit, play you in with the band music, and then set up your anecdote, and then over-laugh at it. That's how you show somebody how to be charming. Thank you so much, YouTube. You've taught me so much about how to change my life, just become a more likable, happy person, There's several self-styled guru people making these videos. And, yeah, so just watch thousands of self-help videos on YouTube. Don't change a thing about what you do in real life. And you'll be happier. Because you'll have spent more time on this platform. And that's really what we want, is you to just be on your screen, consuming content on a platform, rather than actually going out into the world and engaging with real people, because that doesn't have nearly the predictability of promoting a movie or being on a talk show. In fact, it would seem that using those as instances of how to interact in real life would contribute to people being even more superficial, even faker, and identifying virtue with shallow, superficial characteristics, getting further away from the ability to actually one-on-one communicate with one another. But I'll go check another few dozen self-help videos, because it is the ferrets observing the milk carton, really. It is really the archons trying to interfere with the celestial realms, and it's a wonderful time to be alive. This is the second Renaissance, except there's no Medici family. There's no beautiful art. It actually feels like a dark age. It actually feels like there's incredible tension, complete lack of humor. But that's somehow a second Renaissance. I guess because we're getting rid of certain types of personalities. That's the wise owl plan. Yeah, astrologically, in terms of self-help, in terms of celestial beings, in terms of terminology. Well, I used to say an old joke about the weather. That's what I used to say at the end of these. If you don't like